an absolutely heartbreaking loss for us. I mean, everybody just heartbroken throughout the whole city, but there's still a lot to look forward to. Some people are going to tell me to shut up. Josh is all depressed. Let him have his fucking moment.
That was like horrible. Like, I don't know. That's probably the second worst thing that ever happened to me.
Who was first?
My grandmother dying. Yeah. Luckily, I still have 3 grandparents left.
So you have a heart.
Yeah, but like that's probably without a doubt the second worst thing that ever happened to me. I mean, I don't.
I'm upset because we lost, but the fact that it was such a good Super Bowl game, and the fact that one call that, regardless all year hasn't been called, and that turning moment in an important game where there was a call earlier on in that game that he did the same thing, they didn't call it. Granted, I'm not saying we could have won, but like that kind of handed the game to the Chiefs, because if that wasn't a flag, they would have still kicked the field goal. We could have had a chance to drive down and maybe kick a field goal, but it's just the way it ended. It just is upsetting.
I think I'd rather would have gotten blown out. I've been thinking about that.
Yeah, it was very upsetting, and
All right, that's cap.
That is cap.
No,
Rather
it would
than-
have hurt way less. It would have hurt way less.
No, it wouldn't have. What?
Yeah, it would have.
I don't even hear what he said.
He
He said he would have rather gotten blown out.
Yeah, I think
That was one of the most entertaining Super Bowls ever until that last moment when the refs, shouldn't have done what they did. That was a very entertaining Super Bowl. It is what it is. You can't.
We lost. What?
Look, you can't change the past, dude. Of course we lost. But that's fucking sports. That's just life in general. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It just makes the fucking character development of Jalen Hurts that much more interesting now. Like when we go back next year to the Super Bowl, and if we win it, knock on wood, I really do think we will go back next year. I'll say it right now. If he wins it, it's gonna feel so fucking good. Like I was talking about it with a guy this week, and I think a lot of Philly fans were kind of arrogant this week. Like they were like, they didn't understand like how big of a deal I think it is that we're in the Super Bowl. Like that this is it's really for some fan bases for us, it was a long time where it was a once in a lifetime thing. We have all been blessed enough to be at least at 3 Super Bowls in our life, not at them presently, but have 3 Eagles that they played in and won one of them. But I'm just saying, guys, I mean, it could be Josh makes a good point. It could be a while before we go back again. So there is that sadness that there is lingering, but I don't know, man. The Eagles are set up pretty well, and Jonathan Gannon going, which we'll get to later. I don't know. That might help things in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think it might.
I will say Josh did say Jonathan Gannon was terrible in that game, which I've been saying all year. So I'm surprised you agree with me.
No, he was. He
terrible. I mean,
just had no game plan the second half. Nothing.
I don't know what we just fucking wasted 2 weeks' salary on Vic Fangio. I don't know what he told us. That was.
Wait. I heard that he's been behind the scenes all year. So could he emerge for defensive coordinator? Do you think, or no? There's no chance. Like he's too old and washed up at this point.
He's with Vic Fangio. He signed with another team.
Yeah, he did. He actually did. I think it's with
the Dolphins.
Yeah, he's with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
How long has he been there?
No. He was
just did.
Oh, just now.
He signed. Yeah. He signed.
Yeah, we're.
I mean, I'll give you my opinion later on who I think should be defensive coordinator because it's surprising. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy to lose both of them, and we'll later. But for me personally, this was just gut wrenching. I mean, to see this team, I mean, there was so many red flags in this game, I feel like, from this team. One red flag, I mean, obviously, by the NFL, I'd probably go into this as well. The field. Why the heck would you ever?
Josh, you should talk about that conspiracy, too. I'm going to go set up the TikTok. I'll be right back.
I'm not talking about it.
A new freaking field. Like this new field that you've been prepping for 2 years for some reason, and you're like, okay, we're going to test it out on the most important game of the freaking season. And you see players slipping each freaking play. And there's piles of shoes on the sideline. Roger Goodell is a freaking idiot for this. Seriously, I don't know why the hell they did this. This should have been tested out in game. Why would you test it out in the Super Bowl? It pisses me off. It really does.
I think that is pretty stupid too that they decided to test it out like at the moment, But I mean, it is what it is. You can't change it now. They already lost. But yeah, and I think I did hear something about that, like the Super Bowl halftime show had an effect on the field, is because the stages were on the field and it was creating.
No, it's true. It's true.
That shit's getting wild. But real quick, I want to bring somebody in, and before we hit that, I want to thank El Diablo for sponsoring Jack's Weekly Call-In.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302BIRDS sent you. God bless. Go Birds.
What up, Fitzy? Again, thank you, El Diablo.
Fitz. Go.
Fitzy, what do you feel about
in the
this upsetting event?
Bro, like I said, man, I equivalent it to you having your high school sweetheart and you with your high school sweetheart and you see everything's falling apart, but there's nothing you can do, and all of a sudden we have to talk. Now you're just heartbroken. This is how I feel about this, man. It's like all the things like the people say about the refs. Yeah, the flag on Bradbury, BS. The flag where they took the play back to do the instant replay after he made the catch. Yeah, over the top. The field, Goodell, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yep.
But I don't care about none of that, because the number one reason that we lost the Super Bowl, JG, Jonathan Gannon, he came on your show last week, and I said it's put up or shut up. And golly, man. It's, oh, man, I knew this guy was soft, man. He didn't come back. He stopped at Arizona. Stay there, man. Listen, 2017, we're in the Super Bowl. The year we win the Super Bowl against Tom Brady, the GOAT. My man had 600 yards passing. Jim Schwartz goes to Dougie P and says, yo, I'm about to apply the pressure. I'm going to get the ball back for you. Happens the next play. Brandon Graham, strip sack. What happened the entire second half? Soft zone. Mahomes is carving you up. Mahomes is on a peg leg. We didn't get one sack. Yeah, the field was messed up. You got to make an adjustment to that, man. I mean, the only reason it wasn't that one-sided in the first half is because Jalen played the game of his life, and we had the ball the first half. When they got that first kickoff after halftime, it was a wrap.
Yeah,
and I see one touchdown.
And
two touchdowns.
We held the possession of the ball like all first half, and then the second half we like pretty even with the Chiefs. Yeah, the field was fucked up, but like you still got to bring the pressure. Granted, I know Hassan Reddick was silent all game, and I don't know if it's because he's used to the edge rush and getting around the corner, and the field was restricting that.
Yeah, but the teammate Hassan Reddick is the Philadelphia Eagles. If you see he ain't getting there, bring somebody else.
The fact that we left two wide open receivers score two touchdowns in the second half.
Same play. It was the same play.
Freaking play.
You have to.
It's even making me even more pissed off thinking about they were wide open.
Yeah, you gotta realize that it happened the first time, and then realize to set up the second play, like the second time, and adjust to it. Obviously,
not only that, but like in that situation, and when it happened the first time, I would take notes because you think that they would run it again, and also earlier. The Jaguars ran the same play against us, and it worked. So, I feel like you needed to break down on that. I mean, when you see, I don't know. I mean, that was a good play. It really was, but I don't think you should be fooled out twice on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also feel like what Fitz was saying. I think Gannon really fussed out as well. He knew he screwed up, and he's like, "Well, I don't have the guts to go back to Philadelphia. I'm going to get eaten up. Something's going to happen." And that's why he never returned back, because he's a coward. He's a freaking pompous idiot. And honestly, I am still just in total shock that he just.
Oh! KJ McCoy said you're a bitch, Jonathan Gannon, and said get the fuck out of Philly.
Stay your ass in Zona, you freaking weirdo.
So wait, if the Eagles play the Cardinals next year, are we flying out to Zona to go see the Eagles gut Jonathan Gannon?
Tick Pick, help us out. I will go there, and
I'm taking the flight.
That Jonathan Gannon has nightmares. I will make sure he does. And Jack will too. I know Jack will.
No, I bet in all seriousness he will get very, very scared. But Fitz, thank you for jumping on with us to talk a little bit of post Super Bowl initial reactions. We appreciate you as always.
One love, guys. Peace.
All right, guys. So now that we're officially a little bit through the football season, spring is coming. And you know what that means?
Time for Phillies talk with Bob Tommy. Finger stitch.
Oh yeah, baby! You ready?
I am ready. I hate to burst your bubble though with the Arizona thing real quick, but we play them in Philly next year.
That's even better. Then we're all going to that game. That's even better.
We'll be there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But BPT, look at this fucking lineup. Is this a team that can go to the World Series and break the curse of last year? Tell me.
Absolutely. Like, from top to bottom. So, you're going to miss Harper for till at least June, maybe beginning part of July. Because he finally got a Tommy John surgery to fix his UCL tear like a week after the season finally ended. So, you're going to miss him till then. However, he's just going to come back fresh. You missed him for about the same amount of time last year. He came back healthier, stronger, and he tore it up. He got hot at the right time for the postseason. So hopefully that same thing will occur. I hope that lineup will be incorrect, though. Come opening day, Trey Turner is the first true leadoff hitter the Phillies have since Jimmy Rollins. And back in from the 04 days to 2011, 2012, whenever it was that we finally traded him to the Dodgers. The man's got speed. He can field. He can hit for average. He hit over 300, which is near impossible in today's MLB with the way people throw nowadays. So with that being said, you finally have a guy who can get on base. You'll have Schwarber in there. You'll have probably Derek Hall DHing beginning of the season. All these guys can crush and mash. You'll finally be scoring runs in bunches. Forget about just having these solo shot home runs. And it's great that they hit all these home runs, but you'll actually have guys on base, which is even better. You have guys like Brandon Marsh getting on base. Now what concerns me with Brandon Marsh going into the season is can he hit the right can he hit the left-handed pitchers? He does great against right-handed pitching. And left-handed pitching not so much, and that's what we had Matt Vierling for last year. But Matt Vierling, we traded this offseason to go get some bullpen help. So it's going to be tough to see this year. But I think that ultimately they improved in their starting rotation. They got Wheeler, Nola, Ranger Suarez. All three of those are like three aces right there in your starting rotation. Then you have Taijuan Walker, who really in actuality is probably a number 2 starter in any other rotation. He's going to be number 4 in our rotation, which excites me incredibly for this upcoming season. Then you have this absolute stud coming up this year, Andrew Painter, who's probably going to be your number 5 starter to start.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, when you said stud, I got excited. I thought you were talking about that sexy fellow on the right holding, what is that, a Red Zapple Ale? What do you got in your hand in that pick?
That's a Philly bell ringer. It's from
Carson
Company.
Ew!
Please.
But
I'm a
no,
man of class,
I'm
bud.
with you, Tom. This team is exciting as hell this year, and I love your point about Brandon Marsh getting on base. I don't know what's on about baseball, but the little bit that I did see this season is it's bell ringer, moonshot or nothing this year, piss missile or nothing with the Phillies, which is great. I love the dingers, but at the same time, you need to have a balance. And I think adding Trey Turner into the lineup, I think that really just diversifies this Phillies offense so that they can do so much more. Like, you know how vital the shortstop position is. Everybody knows that. And I don't think that there's a better guy to do it than B. Harp's best friend. So I'm really excited. We'll be at a ton of games this year. If you guys want to find us there, come link up with the famous man himself. I will be somehow figuring out how to get a BPT chain, so stay tuned. But it's going to be an exciting season, and there's a lot to look forward to. KJ, Jack, Sean, anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah, I will say some. Yeah, dude, I'm I'm very excited to see what is going on with the Phillies this season. Yeah, like Ballpark Tommy said, adding Trey Turner is a key piece to this team. Like, our defense was people said it was going to be bad last year, but it honestly was above average. And adding Trey Turner, he has a very, very good glove. And I mean, like he also said, I mean, it's going to hurt us losing Bryce Harper until June, July, whatever. But I mean, I think they'll be able to have themselves a good team when he sits out. But the main thing that I'm very, very excited about this year is the shift banning, because that opens up the whole side of the field for left-handed hitters. And I feel like there's going to be more hits. There's going to be more opportunities to get on base with that in play.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yes.
I may have asked you this a while ago, but what do you think about the pitch clock, and they can't adjust their lineups? How do you think it's going to affect this year of MLB?
So the way it's going to work with the pitch clock this year, so it's you have 15 seconds in between pitches when there's no one on base, 20 seconds when there is a guy on base, and 30 seconds in between each batter. Here, I think it's going to be a good thing for the game. It's going to be getting people like Dutch, who think the game's way too slow, don't really want to pay attention. What's going to do is what they found, at least in the minor league levels. They tested this out first at an independent in independent leagues that will work with the MLB and test out rule changes that they want to do. It sped up the game by only a few minutes, but a lot of those guys work fast anyway in the independent leagues because they're kind of younger. They're around our age. Whereas some of the older heads, some guys who have matured more and have more talent, they work a little slower. So when they finally implemented it in the minor leagues, it shaved off about a half hour to 45 minutes off the game time. Because what they found was the pitchers were delaying it. They were stepping off the mound, spitting, fixing their jockstrap, doing this, doing that, rather than lock in and just throw a pitch, like that. So I think it's going to be a very good thing to try to regrow that fan base, because the MLB fan base right now is very top heavy. And what I mean by that is older. It's a lot of old people that are really the fans of baseball. It's our parents' generation and older. It's not so much people like me. I'm a huge fan, but I don't see a lot of people my age going to the game, enjoying the game, being able to talk statistics with. Let's be honest on here. I talk with you guys. You kind of can follow along with what I'm saying, but you're not throwing back the same numbers and statistics as I am. But I think that's just a sign of how the MLB does poor marketing. Hey, you guys can name me weird, odd players on every team
in the NFL. Yep.
And the NBA, and I couldn't tell you that much, but that's also because I don't care about other teams in the NBA as much. I care about the Sixers, and that's about it.
Which actually leads us into our next topic, actually, perfectly. You take it first here, Tommy. But before we do that,
he shoots, he scores! Time for slap shots with Zep. Flyers talk from 302 Birds.
Go ahead, Josh. This is your topic, buddy.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I thought Tommy was leading.
All right,
it's all good. Take it.
Go?
Take it, Josh.
You take it, Josh.
All right.
Stank tick pick.
Thank you, Tick Pick, for making me have to do this.
Say it with more enthusiasm, like you don't have a gun to the back of your head.
No, this sucks. All right, I'm happy the Flyers are going to miss the playoffs because they probably would make it and they make the Stanley Cup Finals and then they lose just like every other fucking Philly team. All right, I'm done losing in championships. I'm done. The Flyers are fighting, but they're like, good fight, guys, but they're not going to make the playoffs. They're 9 points out of the wild card right now. The All-Star break is over, which means like we really are in the dog days of the season. It's winding down. We need to really make a last-minute push to make the playoffs. So technically not eliminated. Honestly, I would say we're in a much better spot this time of the season than anybody thought with this roster. That being said, it's only because like the last 8 or 7 teams are so close right now. But Torts has the guys fighting. I think Torts has done what everybody thought he was going to do. The asshole, get the younger guys to hustle. Basically your Flyers team right now is made up of like a bunch of young guys and then all the short white guys who the Sixers always have, who's just like the hustler on the team, like the TJ McConnells. Like that's who the Flyers team is made up of.
Is that who Cates is? Is Cates like that kind of guy?
No, he's a baller. No, don't even talk about my boy Cates. All right, don't.
He's a stud.
But JJ, you're absolutely the worst. I don't even know how you manage to be this bad all the time. Yeah, it sucks.
The Flyers are a sloppy team right now, too. That's the other issue. When you watch a game, they have that young energy. That's what's keeping them alive in the standings. But they have a lot of raw talent where they have a lot of guys who can skate fast, a lot of guys who can sniper a puck into the net. They don't have anyone, though, that's like molded and well crafted. They had to rush a lot of guys up because of injuries last year. They demolished their team, so all these guys didn't really get polished in the minors in the AHL last year. Here, all they did is bring up a lot of guys and went, let's hope for the best this year. Here, they need to start tanking at this point because they're not going to get Bedard. They're not going to get a good draft pick in the lottery. They're going to miss out on the lottery at this point.
They are definitely going to miss out on the lottery.
And they're just going to keep this cycle of mediocrity. Do you remember a few years ago when the Sixers kept, they were good enough to make the playoffs, but they were always an 8th or 7th seed.
Before the process,
exactly. It was like the Andre Iguodala days. And they just constantly, they would make the playoffs. If they got past the first round, this city got excited because it was like, whoa, we actually got past the first round. Maybe we'll actually do something soon.
Yeah.
But that's what this team looks like they're trying to do. Like they're trying to sneak into the playoffs, sure they might have something, but then next year they're going to suck again.
I will say this, Tom. It is nice that it is February and I can still turn on a Flyers game and any given night think that they could still win that game. Maybe not make the playoffs, but like any night it's like, all right, like we're going to fight.
They're better than they were at the beginning of the season. I'll give them that because at the beginning of the season, it was, hold on, how much are they going to lose by? Is it going to be by 6 goals tonight or only 4?
Yeah. Yeah. JJ, you're talking to yourself, dude. You're like the dude in the group, like old man yells at cloud. Go home.
Ash, what are you going to say?
Hey, yeah. Honestly, I mean, it's kind of a tough spot to be in with the Flyers because they have moments where they can be like, hey, we can actually be like a good, not a good team, but a mediocre team, and like put, decent games together and stuff. And then they'll have just like a week or two where they just suck, in my opinion. And overall, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. They are a confusing team to me. I feel like they have a lot of the components to make it work. I don't know if whenever this team's sale rumors that are flying around actually go through, maybe that will help long term. I don't know, but there's got to be something, whether it's within upper management or something, because we've had so many years where we're like, this could be right on paper, we have the potential, and they just can never make anything happen.
Yeah. It's just all sad.
We're not gonna be that Boston franchise that they win every other year with all our teams. we are always upset by how our teams play out. We're never consistent with the game, especially for NBA, the Sixers, and the Flyers. We're kind of making a push for that in the Phillies and the Eagles, but we're never going to be that perfect team that wins every single game and like is what's the word I'm looking for? A franchise that wants to be beat by other franchises. You know what I mean?
Little brother.
So
this sucks. This sucks.
Josh, I'm done with you.
How, why are you done with me? We lost the Super Bowl in like heartbreaking fashion. We lost the World Series. Yeah, that's a team that nobody thought would get there. Apparently, the Soul lost. I don't even know.
Thank you, Ash.
I don't even know what league they're still playing, but they lost in the championship. Everything just sucks.
The Soul haven't been in existence for like 3 years.
What's the
They're coming back though.
What's
the Arena Football League went bankrupt.
I think it's coming back. I seriously heard something that it's coming back.
USFL is what you're thinking of.
No. I promise you, the Philadelphia Soul, the Arena Football League. I know what I'm talking about. The blue team.
No,
with
I'm
the
trying
black
to tell Josh. I'm not trying to correct you.
I think it's coming back though. I think that they went unbankrupt.
What?
Did they?
No, Josh was trying to talk about the soccer team. He's an idiot.
No, he was trying to talk about the Philadelphia Stars in the USFL.
What were you trying to talk about?
Yeah, no,
Anyways, none of this matters. Let's move to our next segment.
No, you're right.
All right, KJ, take it away.
Well, first off, I mean, back to just quick little thing. I will explain the whole XFL, USFL thing later, but let's just get into the Sixers now. My boy, Mac McClung, who was just a Delaware Blue coat, and now he's officially a Philadelphia 76er. Welcome to the Sixers. He played for my favorite college basketball team, who sucks, Georgetown. But it's all good, and then he transferred out later. It's a different story. But yeah, I'm excited. This guy's a flashy dunker. You might recognize him from like hoop mixtapes and all that kind of stuff back in high school. He was an insane dunker. This 6'3" white kid who could just slam like Vince Carter. I mean, it's just insane. The bounce he has, the athleticism he has, and he's going to be in the dunk contest representing the Sixers on Friday. So that should be cool. I'm pretty sure the last Sixer to be in the dunk contest was Andre Iguodala.
Wait, I have a question. How long has he been on the team? The Sixers?
Today. I mean, yesterday.
How is he already in the dunk contest representing the Sixers?
Because no one wants to be in it.
Right.
Who's good?
So here's the thing. He's one of the first, which he's not the first, because Derek Jones did it with the Suns, where they took a G League player and they said, all right, you're going to be in the dunk contest. And because he was really good at dunking, or I mean, obviously, like they have dunking abilities. And then they would get a contract from the team. So that's what happened with Max. So he got word that he was going to be in the dunk contest, and then the Sixers signed him. So that's how it kind of worked out and everything like that.
Okay.
But they were pretty much going to sign him. Like that's how it really works with that kind of situation.
Well, how come no one wanted to be in the dunk contest this year?
I mean, it's always hard for stars to really want to be in the dunk contest. I saw an interview with John Morant and a certain reporter, and he said you would have to give me like $1 million to like.
It's like the Pro Bowl. It's like the Pro Bowl in the NFL because like you can
pretty much. I mean, obviously they do like the All-Star game. I mean, like the players will play that. But yeah, when it comes to the dunk contest, yeah, there's not too much respect on it as much as it used to be. Like you used to see Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins battle it out. And then obviously back in like 2001, you see like Vince Carter and like guys like Desmond Mason. But now it's just like you got some guys who are really like guys who could barely make the roster, or guys who are just like high-flying dunkers, but you're like, who the heck are they? So Mac is like one of those guys, obviously. But if you know basketball, you know who Mac McClung is. He was very viral for many videos and like back in, I'd probably say like 2018, because back in high school, he was just insane. And he actually beat Iverson's scoring record for the state of Virginia. Yeah. So he holds the state of Virginia scoring. He's a scoring leader in the state of Virginia. And he beat
The only issue with him is he went to that bad private school in D.C. But then he transferred out and went to Texas Tech.
Gonzaga?
What, Gate City?
No, Georgetown.
Yeah, it is a bad private school. It is.
KJ.
Georgetown's rough,
I
man.
sadly root for them. Yeah.
At this moment, it's what, midway of the season, right?
Yes.
'Cause
Yes, it
How
literally
do you-
is midway of the season.
How are you feeling about the Sixers this year? What do you expect? What do you want to happen? How do you think Doc's coaching? Like,
I'm feeling like the Sixers. I mean, I think they realize like the pain and agony us Philly sports fans have right now, and they want to just go out and just try and win something for us. It doesn't mean like they're gonna go to the finals or anything, but I think they really realize, okay, you know what, we got to step it up, and hopefully Doc realizes that too. But yeah, it's just, I mean, the Sixers, they've been off and on. It just seems like, I mean, right now actually they're kicking the Cavaliers' butts right now, so that's great to see.
I think it's 92-75 or something like that.
Yeah, so they're doing great against them. But yeah, the Sixers, hopefully they can make some kind of run, and they got some moves, like they got rid of Matisse Thybulle, which some people love him, some people don't like him. But yeah, he's on the Blazers now. He's doing okay over there with just less pressure, and I mean, like, he just doesn't. The reason it didn't work out with Matisse here, he didn't really have much of an offensive game. I felt like he was more defensive, and we just seemed like we needed a wing who can really just like be a playmaker, and that's what we got in McDaniels from Charlotte. So I think that's a good move as well. So, but yeah, as I was saying before, can they fill the void? I mean, all these losses, and yes, I'll go back to Jack's question. It was not the freaking Soul. It was the Philadelphia Stars of the USFL. That's who it was who lost. And Philly Sports Guy was actually at that championship game, and they lost to Birmingham Italians. But yeah,
Was he at all of these games technically? Because wasn't
I asked him that? Not the Union.
Okay.
Not the Union, because that was in L.A. and he did not go. He said. So
and it was the same day as the Phillies lost the World Series.
That was just fucking a gut-wrenching day.
First time, I think, ever in like sports history, whatever the heck, an MLS team loses a championship and a freaking.
You mean two professional teams lose a championship in the same day?
MLS isn't really a league, though. So.
Oh my God! There it is. There's the zinger.
But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you see, obviously the sorrow we have to go through as a city of Philadelphia, but I'm praying, and I think we all are, that the Sixers can be our saviors, which is kind of hard to believe.
No,
but they're
like they won't.
I don't know. Yeah, here's the thing. Like,
why do you say it, Tom? Why do you say it like that?
The Sixers look even they were a second round exit last year. Yeah. Here, they look even worse this year. They thought their saving grace was whoever they signed the other day, who has only like 3.5 points a game and like a rebound a game, and he's a center. Here, he sucks.
Well, Dwayne Dedmon, yes, we brought him back. Dwayne Dedmon is okay. Dwayne Dedmon. He was with us during the Hinkie days, the process days. He was freaking horrible. I hated Dwayne Dedmon.
And guess what? He still sucks.
He sucks. He sucks. I talked to a Miami Heat fan, and the Miami Heat fan said he was a cancer for the team. So I don't know. They thought that Dwayne Dedmon
the
would
Sixers
be like
suck. They're going to be another second round exit this year if they're lucky.
I was going to say,
they're probably going to be a first round exit this year. Flyers are going to make the playoffs just so they screw up their future. So it's baseball season. That's all I have.
And it wasn't a hold. He didn't hold him. In what world is that a hold?
He didn't hold him.
it was a ticky-tack call.
Literally did it all damn day against A.J. Brown, and they didn't call it once against them.
All right. Look. Let me say my piece about the Sixers. I don't think that they're going to do it. I don't. I used to be confident in them. I'm really not. Tom just fucking sold me. And Tom, the accountant, just sold the sales guy. So what does that say to everybody? I mean, I'm just not sold on the Sixers being it. I would love to be proved wrong. But like Tom said, it's fucking baseball season. I was just cracking the fuck up the way he just said that. So I'm all for it, Tom. I'm with you, man. Jack, Josh?
They will not fill the void. I don't even think they'll make it to we'll see. They'll probably make it to the first round, lose, and then lose game 7, and then we'll be upset and wanting to burn the city of Philadelphia down.
Because you have to say Doc Rivers is getting fired.
Don't make this think that I think that Doc Rivers is going to bring us to a championship, because I freaking don't. I'm just saying that could they be the savior? I don't think so, but like there's always a chance. They could do something. They could make a backflip. We pray to God they do. But maybe in some weird way, God realizes, okay, you know what, Philadelphia, I'll let you have the Sixers somehow. So I'm praying to God that happens, but
that's a good point, JJ. At least Doc's getting fired.
I'm saying I highly doubt it, though.
But we're wasting Embiid's time is the problem. But anyways, before we get into our next segment, I want to...
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dordan, the mayor of Delaware.
Sorry, I didn't see you were getting up.
Again, Fantasy Football Network, appreciate the sponsor. Tonight we got on the ballot is which player holds the Philadelphia Eagles record for career interceptions with 34? Again, which player holds the Philadelphia Eagles record for career interceptions with 34? Answers are Bill Bradley, Brian Dawkins, Eric Allen, or all the above. We'll give you the answer at the end of the show.
You're getting so much better at that, buddy.
He's getting really good. That's like 3 weeks in a row. But I'll let you guys take this first. Gonna talk some Eagles. Miles Sanders.
No, I'm not paying the man.
Tommy.
This man had a great season and didn't show up at all in the Super Bowl when we needed him. Our run game was silent. Jalen Hurts carried that run team and the throw deep. I don't think we deserve to pay this man any money because, like we said previous episodes, you can recycle running backs. You can get a nice running back in the draft or get another young guy. I'm not saying I don't think we should pay him.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to pay Miles Sanders. I did like Miles Sanders a lot. I thought it was a great story. He went to Penn State. He's a PA boy. But at the same time, I just feel like, he had a great season, great regular season. And he had more than 1,000 yards. I mean, we haven't had that with the Eagles running back since like Shady, I'm pretty sure. But honestly though, he's a liability, and especially with fumbling the ball sometimes. I mean, he just can't keep the freaking ball in his hands sometimes, and it pisses me off. But yeah, I'm fine with Kenny Gainwell. I really enjoy watching him play as well, and I feel like he didn't get enough. Really any usage with the Birds this year, but hopefully he will next year. And I don't see the Eagles trying to pay Miles Sanders. I don't see it happening.
I think you have to also look at it this way. The end goal at the end of the day is to win a Super Bowl, correct?
Correct.
So if that's the end goal, I don't think you're going to win one with this guy. He came up small in the biggest of moments. Forget even about this specific postseason. Look at last year. Granted, it's even smaller sample size. It was one game against the Tampa Bay Bucks. He didn't show up there. He didn't show up to the games leading up to it either, where we needed him most to clinch a spot to get into that playoff. Jalen Hurts had to take control last year, too, towards the end of the season. This year, all of a sudden, he can't run. Kenny Gainwell could run in the playoffs. All of a sudden, he was okay during the regular season, but he showed up big when the lights shined in their brightest. He ran all over the Giants. He had over 100 yards against the Giants. Giants couldn't do a thing to stop Kenny Gainwell. The 49ers, the greatest defense ever, apparently, according to ESPN, couldn't stop Kenny Gainwell. And he did very well against the Chiefs. In the aggregate, considering how everyone else ran. Kenny Gainwell did pretty well. Then you look at Miles Sanders. He really fumbled twice, in my opinion. That one that got overturned by replay, I think he really fumbled.
I agree.
If I'm being perfectly honest. He fumbled twice in the Super Bowl. He kept trying to bounce everything outside. Whereas if he just ran up the middle, he could get 2 or 3 yards easily and at least have a positive game. Instead, he's bouncing it out, consistently getting either just back to the line of scrimmage or a loss. He's not worth the money. He chokes under the pressure. And at this point, we saw too with Pacheco, just go get someone out of college and run him out there. You don't need to spend a lot on a running back. Heck, they're a dime a dozen anymore. They're all these running backs coming out of college are great. They're great. And then they get run to the ground in the NFL in 2-3 seasons, and they're no longer good.
Yeah, to that point, and then you guys can Zeke Elliott, they gave him that big check, right? What
He
has
sucks now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he sucks.
What has he done since he's got that contract extension?
Tony Pollard's ass.
Yeah, exactly. So we see, a revolving door with when we spend this much money on receivers, they end up, not playing well like they used to.
I mean, running backs.
Yeah, sorry, my fault. But yeah, so like I don't think it's worth us spending because we don't really have that much cap space. I think we should just get one in the draft and keep Kenny Gainwell because we still make Kenny G number 1 and then have whoever, if Boston Scott's still here, number 2, and then somebody that we draft. That's what I think we should do.
In my opinion, the running back is the most disposable position in the NFL, unfortunately. I love Miles Sanders. He's probably my favorite player on the team right now. But the NFL's a business. And Tom put it best. The end goal is to win a Super Bowl. So you got to look at it as where are we going to invest our money? It's going to be in Jalen Hurts, probably primarily. And then after that, probably CJ would be my next bet. You got 2 first-round draft picks. The Eagles can do a lot with that number 10 pick. There's a hypothetical chance that Bijan Robinson, I think his name is there. If he's behind this offensive line, I think he's a Pro Bowl running back in his rookie year. I mean, last year behind this line, when Miles was fully healthy, he was a Pro Bowl running back. His yards per carry went down a little bit, but, 11 touchdowns. And the year before, he had fucking none. So it's really nice to see him bounce back. I think he'll get a really good deal somewhere else, but I don't think that the Eagles are going to be able to pay him the amount that he wants. I think that this relationship is going to be mutually beneficial to depart.
I thought I already talked about this.
You're good. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Everybody's talked about this, right?
Yes.
Except for Sean, I think.
Oh, sorry. Sean, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I honestly, I like Miles Sanders as a player, but ballpark Tommy was saying, he does fumble a lot. So did KJ also said that too. He's just he is a liability, and that's what I feel like. I think you could move on from him and save some money, and then just go out and get one in the draft, equally as good.
Cool. Really and what did you think of this, Sean? Did you see this today? People were going out signing mural of Jalen Hurts in Philly. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I did see that today. And I do respect it. If I had the chance, I would get out there and say something, write it in chalk or whatever they were writing it in. I feel like it's a good sign that we're all still together, even though the Eagles lost. And I feel like this gives Jalen Hurts more confidence to even strive better. Even though he did everything that he could in his power in that Super Bowl, I feel like he's just going to keep on playing with a chip on his shoulder and strive to be the best and get rid of all those doubters, which at this point he shouldn't have any, like Patrick Mahomes said. But I feel
He'll always be there. Every player will have him. You know what I mean?
Every player will, but I feel like people aren't giving him the same respect as he should get. And you saw what's Colin Cowherd? He said that he wasn't even a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Like, who the fuck cares? He's just doing it for that's just, I don't even want to listen to it. What does his opinion have to affect on anything really? Like, he's just an analyst.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Jalen played his heart out. There's nobody that I could say there's only one person on this team that I could say that wore Philadelphia, the city themselves, on his sleeve, and that was Jalen Hurts. The way that he just silenced a lot of doubters, even though there are still a lot of doubters and a lot of haters, and he doesn't deserve the hate because he's such a nice guy. He's a great person, and he's so humble. You could see a lot of other quarterbacks after a loss react in different ways. We used to see Carson Wentz kind of react in a very different way. But Jalen Hurts honestly uses it as a stepping stone. And that's what I like about him so much. I mean, like, he uses it as a lesson, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to get even better and better. And I truly believe he will get better. And, I mean, sky's the limit for him, dude, because, I mean, honestly, the season he had last year, to go from last year to this year, look like an MVP candidate. I mean, to think of how much more he's going to get better, that's going to be insane, and I cannot wait to see it. The kid's going to keep on going. I know he will keep on striving for greatness, and I'm excited.
Yeah, no, the way he ended his end of the night in the interview after the game, he said it best. I'm not really sure what the exact words were, but he talked for 8 minutes, and he was just saying, you know, hard games like these suck, but it's a matter of like the next game, how you play. And I think he has that dog mentality that, yeah, shit, we lost, but I'm going to try my hardest next season to be the best player I can be and bring us back to this spot with a W next year. So I think Jalen Hurts, I've always was a believer in him. This man is Philly. He is him. He played like a Super Bowl MVP, 3 touchdowns. I'm not sure how many passing yards, but that version he had was phenomenal. That was, I was like, damn, this is going to be a turning point. Sadly, the call ruined it. But Jalen Hurts, this man is what we needed in Philly.
Yeah, I agree with you. Jalen Hurts had a great season. Definitely the best player in the Super Bowl. I don't like this, though. I don't like that we're thanking him. Like, this is not what Philly's about. We need to be on this man's ass. This man needs doubters. I feel like Philly's taking this loss too well. This pisses me off. We need to be angry in the streets.
Okay, Josh, what you just said made no fucking sense.
Everything.
He should have doubters the way he played in the Super Bowl.
No. We lost this game because we were not underdogs.
It wasn't Jalen Hurts' fault.
I know.
It wasn't his fault at all, Josh.
It was that one call.
I know, but it's just the whole culture around this game, just in Philly in general. I don't like that. We're thanking Jalen Hurts after this game. We all need to be pissed. We need to be breaking windows and flipping cars. We need to be wearing our.
No, we do not need to be flipping cars. No, they're still searching for those freaking kids.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Don't
flip off the car.
Don't flip the cars. Yeah, no, Jalen Hurts was the best player in the Super Bowl. But I don't like that fans are writing thank you.
It's showing respect to the man who had a
rough
loss in the Super Bowl and did a lot for the city of Philadelphia.
And this is the first time we've had a fucking consistent. I'll take it. This is the first time we've had a consistent QB since fucking McNabb. This is like a big fucking deal. Like, we actually have someone that we can say, you're not going to be here. Like you're not a question mark. Like, we just had a guy play all 3 playoff games and play his fucking ass off in all 3. Like, put up 5 touchdowns total offense in each game. They put up 35 plus points in each game. That's not easy to do. So, I get what you're saying, Josh. I do like the whole chip on the shoulder mentality, but at the same time, like,
have that.
You can't. We're trying to break the whole stereotype of the flipping the cars thing. Not all Philly fans are going to do that, and I get it. I think that this was a really nice sign of respect, though. I think it was a cool thing that Philly fans did, and I think it's going to go a long way with Jalen Hurts. I think it's going to do what you're trying to do through the whole doubting thing. It's going to be good fuel. It's fuel. It's just a different kind of fuel. It's like diesel and then fucking gasoline. Pick your poison.
I also feel like Jalen Hurts, his energy of just like how like moving on and like, like things are going to happen. I feel like it's feeding off on the city. I feel like a lot of people are like, okay, you know what? I can do that kind of sort of thing. I can kind of go with that kind of, attitude. But yeah, honestly, back to the Jalen Hurts, the player as well, though. People who said he doesn't have an arm, people who said he can't throw, the man threw for, 375 plus yards, and I don't even think Mahomes even, or was it that, or what was it like? Something like that.
He had the second best ranked, and we'll get to this in a few minutes, but PFF ranked him like the second best QB performance. I guess it's been since 2006 or something. Now, Mahomes was in that top 10 list too. You know what's funny? Who was number 1, KJ?
True.
Big Dick Nick.
Wow. BDN. BDN. Wow.
And we'll get to all that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I really like this. We'll move on from it. Just a really cool sign of respect. Just it's a Philly thing. And I hate to say it like that. Kind of cheesy, but I want to move on to our next topic. Something a little bit more fun, a little bit more upbeat. And we're bringing a special guest on the show for it. Everybody, I want to welcome a good friend of ours back to the show, NFL Mike. What's up, handsome? How you doing?
What's up? Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. I got to say something. I really got to say something to you. And you may not like me for this. But you were doing like the TikToks about the playoffs and like the team that you like chose you wanted to win and they end up losing. You chose the Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
You blame Lacey because Lacey said the home there's so many different things.
That's like telling us to root for the Cowboys.
Mike, I love you. I'm just fucking with you, buddy.
I love all of you guys too. Jinxes don't exist.
Mike, it's
we're bringing you on the show tonight, Mike. I mean, did you see this Twitter beef? What was your opinion on this from an outside opinion? Because I thought this was classless.
Well, I saw a post later on that said that Juju had 19 total TikToks throughout the season, and he only scored 3 touchdowns. So people are starting to get on Juju now. This is the difference between A.J. Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. A.J. Brown is like an old school football player. You can tell that his dad or his mom or his coach or whoever influenced him coming up in football, that you play the game with some respect for your opponent at a certain point. And Juju is a new age football player where you play the game with no respect for your opponent. It seems like every game is treated like it's some kind of bragging right trophy that everyone has to say, I own you. No, I own you. Well, I own you because I own them and they own them. So that's where Juju comes from with this tweet. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. He thinks it's funny. He's doing the social media game. But A.J. Brown's like, well, where's the respect, bro? Like, we just played a Super Bowl against each other. This is history. And the first thing you do is get on Twitter and clown a guy that would never – I don't think James Bradbury would ever do this to someone else.
No, not one bit.
No, James Bradbury is one of the nicest guys on the team from what I've seen and from what I've heard. So, I mean, I don't think he would – it's just immature. Like, that's the only word I could use to describe it. I mean – what'd you think about A.J. Brown just absolutely just fucking tearing him a new ass on the reply, though? Did you think that was immature, too? Like, 2 wrongs don't make a right, or did you think it was warranted?
I mean, A.J. Brown standing up for his guy because, again, I think he knows James Bradbury ain't going to say shit because James Bradbury is a calm dude.
True.
What
A.J. Brown would choke slam Juju.
You know what also pisses me off about this season in general? The fact that Brittany Mahomes thinks she has a platform to like talk about, oh, you guys were haters, all this bullshit. I'm like, oh, cool. Your husband is an NFL quarterback, but you don't need to go on Twitter and like roast the fan base that, oh, you guys proved us wrong. You have no right to do that. Let Patrick Mahomes do that. He doesn't need somebody to step up for him. I just think that was annoyed. And I read that today.
She's always annoying anyway. She's always annoying.
Yeah, Mahomes barely likes her.
Not that matters.
I hope they get divorced, to be honest.
Oh my God.
Where's that Philly hate talking about? We need to talk about that.
I hope they do. I hope they get divorced.
What do you think about this whole scenario, KJ?
You know what? Yeah, and back to what Mike was saying. Yeah, James Bradbury is a very nice guy. I've seen videos where people literally call him James Ballberry, and he doesn't care at all. So he's a good sport about things. I don't know how he reacted to this at all, but Juju's a clown, to be honest. He always has been. He's just he's a weird dude. I don't know how him and Jackson Mahomes haven't made any TikTok videos yet because they both like to do the same kind of things. And they both can't really play any sports. That's the thing. I feel like Juju is actually a better TikToker than he is a football player. That's how I see it. But, yeah, to be honest, AJ had every right to go at Juju because he came at Bradbury. And, I mean, like, you don't just do that kind of stuff. I mean, come on, man. Like, it's
embarrassing to some extent, too, when your head coach, like you guys saw the video of Andy Reid, Juju, you're faster at making TikToks than you are running, or he said something like that. Yeah. Like, it's embarrassing when fucking Andy Reid, like fucking the guy who like gets excited over cheeseburgers, like that's the highlight of his life, is like a cheeseburger, Mr. Walrus, like is roasting you. Nicest guy ever, phenomenal coach, all respect to the Chiefs. but it is embarrassing as fuck when your head coach, who is basically the biggest dweeb in the history of dweebs, is roasting you. Just saying.
I like Juju Smith-Schuster as a player. I actually think he's a decent receiver. I just feel like if you've ever made a TikTok of you dancing, like you deserve to lose all happiness in life. Like Juju Smith-Schuster, the fact that he was happy.
Gosh, if you also lost all happiness in life, the way you're talking right now.
Yes, because we lost the Super Bowl, Tom. We lost Super Bowl. Yes.
Burn it down.
It sucks right now.
Yeah.
I'm down pretty bad, bud. And you know what? Bradbury even said it was a hold. I still, whatever. That's touchy. Like, even if he said, like, it wasn't a hold, like, Juju Smith. I don't know. I just hope if we play the Chiefs next
That's
week,
why I get more mad about the tweet, though, because Bradbury was a good sport about it. It's like just immature and pussy on Juju
I just need
Schuster.
somebody to fight him.
But here's the
Just need somebody
thing:
to beat his ass.
the main reason they do this type of shit is for us to be talking about it.
Yeah.
That's
why he did the cheesesteak thing too.
So, like, exactly. I don't think like that. It was just not warranted at all that he just came out of nowhere and just said that. Both teams played a hard game. Just celebrate with your team. No need to go on Twitter and fucking roast a defense or the opposite team. I just think it's pointless to do that. Like, what are you gonna get out of that other than other people talking about it? Like, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Juju, you made an enemy for life, Juju.
For sure.
Right here. Look at my eyes.
Speaking about enemies, I noticed that Mike and JJ in the comment section. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
JJ doesn't like somebody. There's
Battle of LA. But
that's how JJ is. JJ's always fucking trying to pick a fight with somebody. But does anybody else have anything that they want to say about the whole Twitter scenario? Otherwise, I want to move to our next segment, which is Brian Johnson potentially taking over offensive coordinator. Jack, Josh, you guys want to take this first?
Yeah, I think this is I think losing Steichen's a huge loss. Obviously, we're still gonna have Jalen Hurts, who is a great quarterback, as he proved this season. But Shane was calling the plays this season. And yes, Sirianni had a huge overlook on it, but it's going to be massive. I think this is probably the right move. I also think it's kind of fucked up because if we remember, the whole reason Doug Peterson quit is because he wanted to promote his quarterback coach that season, and Howie and Jeff Lurie were basically like, no, we're going to make you hire somebody outside to be the OC, but whatever. Stuff happens. So, I mean, I think it's the right fit. I'd rather hire inside somebody who knows Jalen Hurts' strengths and weaknesses he has none because he's a baller.
Yeah. Wow. You're actually.
I like Jalen Hurts.
Praising him now after.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking. I have the speaking stick right now.
That's my pen.
But I'm Zep. Anyway.
Burn Philadelphia to the ground.
Anyway. Yes. I mean, Brian Johnson has known Jalen Hurts for quite some time, and I think this would be a good fit. Granted, it's going to be rough losing Shane Steichen. I think he called a good season this year. I mean, other than the what was it? The 49ers, he wasn't really calling that good of a game. But I think it's going to be perfect. We got to see what he does. He's been with Jalen Hurts now for 3 years. So we'll see how he utilizes his strengths and weaknesses and go from there. So we'll see what happens in the offseason.
It's also got just a very white name, Brian Johnson, which is very generic guy.
Was he the quarterback's coach? Was it for the Eagles? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's also been with Jalen Hurts a lot longer. He was a coach of.
That's what I just said.
But I think that this could be like a match made in heaven, though, to elaborate on what Tom just said. They've known each other for a while, but Johnson just kind of saw everything that Steichen did firsthand.
I cut Tom off, so let Tom talk. I was rude.
I'm going to get to Tom after. I was just going to finish my point.
Get the earwax out of your ears there, Tommy.
Tommy, what are we going to do with these guys, right?
Well, he just said, here's what I'm going to say in rebuke to him. One, he literally just said,
just go with it. Take the ball and run. Fuck it.
I am. Because, hey, Dingus, you literally just said he's only been there with Jalen for 3 years. He's known him since friggin' high school. And then you said, in high school.
I said, before I said
No. I know what you said.
He's pinching his fingers. It means it's serious.
Here we go.
Ding,
It's
ding.
on.
All right.
Ring the bell.
Sorry. This has been.
But I think it's a great hire. There
This
you go.
sucks.
Mike.
This
What,
sucks.
Mike, what do you got to say?
I should be drinking out of the goddamn Lombardi Trophy right now. Fuck this.
You can't drink out of it. Go
Shut
ahead.
up, Tom. Shut up, Tom.
That's a Stanley
All right, I
Cup.
think we need to just mute Jack, Josh, and Tom, the three of them. Mike, what do you think?
I don't really know anything about Brian Johnson, to be honest with you, but all he's got to do is just keep the momentum going, keep improving Jalen Hurts as a passer, and letting him know that he can weaponize his legs once he starts to press the ball down the field. What he did in the Super Bowl kind of shows what max potential Jalen Hurts can be. And I think that like you look at like what a guy like Colin Kaepernick did when he burst onto the scene, right? He never like kept that progress going as a passer to where it would level out with his ability running the ball, which is why he's no longer in the league. I feel like Jalen Hurts has the work ethic and the mindset and the hindsight to know that I got to keep improving year by year by year if I want to stay at this stage and stay at this level. And he's working towards establishing himself as one of the best franchise quarterbacks in the league. So I would say this, no matter what Brian Johnson's history is, just learning about him right now, just got to keep that momentum pushing forward. You don't want to take steps back.
I think it's a match made in heaven because it's like they've been together longer, and it's like almost like it's like is it a blessing in disguise? Now, trust me, it sucks to lose Steichen, but is it like maybe Johnson just watched everything Steichen did right and now steps in the right position and has even more chemistry with Hurts, and we see an even better season next year? Sirianni's still in place. What I'm more worried about is actually the defensive coordinator, which will bridge us into our next segment. I mean, all of us all season had talked about Jonathan Gannon and how ass he had been and just how tired we were of him until the 49ers game when all you motherfuckers wanted to suck his dick because he
Yummy.
G-Wagon and he said, we're going to gut these guys. And okay, you did. You played a great game. But then if you guys saw my guy from Crossing Broad, Kyle, asked him a question. He said, Jonathan Gannon, are you going to gut these guys? He goes, I have no comment. Well, you didn't fucking gut them. You got fucking gutted. At the most crucial moment of the game, you gave up 2 plays that were the back-to-back plays just on flip sides of the field. So it is good riddance, I think. I think I'm a little bit scared because Vic Fangio was kind of my front runner for defensive coordinator. I know that they'll find somebody. I don't know. Who do you guys have as other candidates? I'm interested to
I have
hear.
a great candidate.
Oh God,
Ryan freaking Dawkins.
I knew you were gonna say that. I literally,
Ryan Dawkins. You have to bring him in, man.
KJ.
What's
I
up?
literally was talking to Josh.
Go ahead, KJ.
Go ahead. I sang Brian Dawkins, so I agree. Go ahead.
Wait, what were you saying to Josh?
That we should hire Brian Dawkins literally before you just move on.
Oh, exactly. I've been thinking it ever since I heard that Gannon was going. I said, hire Brian Dawkins. Hire Brian Dawkins. This man will have the whole defense running through a freaking wall. He will make them want to go to war. Like, dude, it would be amazing to get Dawkins, but yeah, or Seth Joyner as well. That would be amazing. But one of those guys, you got to do that because they're technically still part of the franchise. But yeah, I heard from somebody that they're trying to just kind of. What the heck is popping
Look at
up?
this date.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Date.
Oh,
This
wow.
is all the way back in 2012, though, is what I'm trying to show you.
2012.
So, like, I feel like if it hasn't happened since then, it's probably not going to happen now. You know what I mean?
know. But that's my dream defensive coordinator. And I just feel like, damn, what was I about to say? Freaking cut me off.
Yeah, go ahead, KJ. Sorry.
No. All right. Well, I think with Dawkins, yeah, it would be insane to get a guy like him as a defensive coordinator. I mean, I think he'd be great.
Absolutely not. No, good players never make good coaches. Never.
What about DeMarco Murray? Or no, what's his name? The guy.
D'Amico Ryans. Yeah, D'Amico Ryans was a completely average linebacker in my opinion.
Yeah, Josh kind of has a point there. He wasn't like I love D'Amico Ryans, but like he wasn't anything special compared to some of these.
Dawkins is a great inspiration, whatever, but like scheme wise, like is he the guy? Probably not, because he can play in any scheme because he's
very smart.
Yeah, but he's a beast. If you want to promote somebody within the franchise who played on the defense, Connor Barwin's probably the guy to do so. I don't really like him either as the defense.
I don't think he's ready yet. I love him, but I don't think he's ready.
No, not Chris. No, Chris Long gets way too high nowadays. He does. Seriously.
His green.
No, you're not wrong. I'm laughing
Yeah, I
because I
remember
think
what I
it's
was gonna
true.
say.
No, I don't really know any good candidates at the moment. I just think Dawkins is like I don't think Tom Brady would be a good football coach because he just sees the game a different way. I think Dawkins sees the game a different way. He probably won't be able to explain that to the defense. I could be wrong. I don't know anything about him as a coach, but I think that'd be more of a publicity hire than an actual like strategic hire in my mind.
Yeah, from
I'm
what I
fucking so
heard,
happy he's gone.
from what I heard, it's going to be somebody inside the franchise, in the organization. So it's going to be somebody that's already part of the Eagles organization. So somebody who'll get lifted up or something like that.
Yeah, kind of going back to the offense coordinator thing. I think we should offer it to Deuce Staley.
He's not gonna take it. He's not going to.
He's on the Lions.
Isn't he already the OC in
running back
Detroit?
See, this is the negative. This is the negative side of.
I think we should hire Deuce Staley as the offense coordinator.
He's pissed at our organization because he wanted to be.
Deuce Staley's already hired to another franchise. I don't know which team it was, but he already got signed.
The Lions.
The Lions.
He's on the Lions.
No, he left the Lions.
Oh, he left them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the negative side of going to the Super Bowl and losing both your coordinators. Everyone already hired all their people. Like Brian Flores was available. Imagine him here. That would have been crazy. And it seems like all the coordinators and all the head coaching candidates have been sucked up now. And you guys are left to just hire within house and hope that they can carry whatever was going on last year or now this year into next year.
It was the Panthers. That's who it is.
Oh, yeah, you guys can have Brandon Staley. JJ saying we could fire you. You guys want Brandon Staley? We'll trade you Brandon Staley and a 5th-round pick.
I'd absolutely want Brandon Staley as their defense coordinator.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that, Mike. That's a real good compensation.
Yeah, I'm a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that the Eagles can do. Of course, we'll come to see what comes to fruition in the next couple of weeks. But bridging on to our last and final topic of the night, thank you all for joining in tonight. But before we get into that, I will kick it to Jackson for
time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dorden, the mayor of Delaware.
Again, thank you, Fantasy Football Network, for sponsoring that. The question we had tonight was, which player has the Philadelphia Eagles record for career interceptions with 34? Which player holds the Philadelphia Eagles record for career interceptions with 34? And the answer is all the above. All the above. All the above.
So they were all three of them are tied at 34.
Yeah, all tied.
That's pretty fucking cool. I didn't know that.
Breaking news on the pod: Raquel Welch died.
You don't care.
No.
You don't even know who that is? She's like the hottest woman, like the 1960s.
Cool, dude. All right, next topic.
Senor Kramer's.
Take it away, Jackson.
Yes, Tom. Yes. I'm
R.I.P.
reference.
Yeah, no, for sure. I said,
R.I.P., but I don't know who that woman is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk about it anymore. Go ahead,
You're
Jack.
not a man of class.
Shut up.
No, he did. Obviously made Philadelphia proud. I mean, I was glad to see what he did for us in the Super Bowl. What?
Not you. I'm making that face at the two. Not fuck. Still talking about the old lady. You're good.
Right.
Keep rolling.
No. Move on, because you kind of just cut me off my.
I'll take it from you, buddy. Yeah, Jalen Hurts outplayed the shit out of Mahomes, outplayed the shit out of everybody on the field. I think he proved everything he needed. Yeah, that fumble that the Chiefs defense returned for a touchdown probably changed the game. But that's just a freak play. Whatever. Like, he's just trying to make a play. But he balled out. He passed accurately. He ran. I mean, like Jack brought up earlier, that 2-point conversion, like that was just all like, I'm going to put the motherfucking team on my back and get into the goddamn end zone. Like, that wasn't scheme. That wasn't like football player. That was just, I am a better athlete and stronger than the person across the line from me. So Jalen Hurts, man, he's the man. And I did not believe in Jalen Hurts coming into the season, but that's okay because
Now you do.
Even Jesus sinned once, so people make mistakes. I'm happy I was proven wrong. Really, I was.
What did Jesus say?
Jesus destroyed the temple. Fun fact.
Oh,
He
yeah.
sinned. Mary didn't sin, but that's
Interesting.
a whole different Catholic Bible
All right,
study.
thank you,
You're
Father
wrong about
Josh.
that, Josh.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all
Hey,
know
Jay,
that.
what were you saying?
Amen. Hallelujah. All right. Well, yeah, Jalen did make us proud. He made Philly proud, and yeah, no, it's crazy to see that he did have the highest grading QB performance in the Super Bowl, one of the highest. Because people said that he was an average passer. People said he couldn't pass. He couldn't throw a deep ball. But I saw him throw a couple deep balls in this game, and he had 304 passing yards. So all those people that were nagging about that, they can eat their own words, to be honest.
They can eat worse than that.
Yeah, they can eat some other stuff too. They can eat some dog shit and some other stuff too. And yeah, get into it later. But yeah, I'm just proud of Jalen Hurts. I really am. And he's gonna prove a lot of people wrong again. Watch, he will.
Do you think that you get bonus points for winning the game? Because Russell Wilson and Nick Foles, I find it interesting on that graphic, both won the games. Nick Foles in 2017, Russell Wilson in 2013. Jalen Hurts, it's interesting that he lost that game. You don't think that has anything to play into this? No?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think it's just –
It sucks looking at this graphic. Just being candid.
I mean, it's just a coincidence, I guess, like for Russ and Nick Foles.
Russ didn't do shit in that Super Bowl. I will say on Twitter, like everybody was very complimentary of Hurts. Like I did not see any Hurts haters after the Super Bowl. Like
obviously not.
I mean, yeah. Like even like non-Eagles fans, non-Chiefs fans.
I would just
what
say
about like a Chargers fan, maybe? Like maybe a guy that looked pretty upset. One of us. Mike, I mean, you look pretty sad for a Chargers fan. I'm just saying.
When I got this picture in my DMs, I was laughing my ass off. But this is probably right after I think they threw the flag. So this family immediately after hearing me yell, "I hate you, Mahomes," for an hour straight, had to get this photo. But they were good sports about it. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I was one of you guys for a day. And by the way, just shout out for those PFF grades. Go to pff.com, use their premium tools. See, told you should have sponsored me, PFF.
Ooh.
Check it out. Well, yeah, I mean, I just find it so funny that, like, you're right here, you're sweating it, you got these Eagles fans next to you, and I wanted to say, like, I kind of covered up in this photo. I'll try to put it on, and I'll clip it on TikTok. You look more upset than these damn Eagles fans in this photo.
Yeah.
This lady in this pic right here, I mean, she looks upset, but, dude, you look fucking crushed.
Well, because, yeah, it's like watching the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. It's sad for them.
I feel like I was watching my 11th straight Fast and Furious movie. I knew exactly how it was going to end already. As soon as they scored the 2-point conversion, I celebrated. I was excited. I was jumping up and down, but then I had to stop for a second, look at the clock, and realize I know who that man is on the other sideline. And that's what I was going to say about Jalen Hurts, too. That last drive is what he deserves the most credit for. I mean, the totality of the game was awesome, but with the Super Bowl on the line, going against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, a team that you know is expected to be at their best in the high-pressure moments like that, Jalen Hurts was at his best in that high-pressure moment, and that's a great sign for your guys' future, especially if he does take a pay cut like the reports are saying he's interested in doing.
That'd be nice.
But one of you guys, for one night, I was the only Chargers fan in the entire stadium, and it didn't work out for me. And that guy next to me, I forgot his name, but they got engaged like during the Super Bowl at halftime, like right there next to me. That was pretty dope too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's like awesome for them. Congratulations. But at the same time, like they're going to have to tell their kids for the rest of their life, like, oh, what happened after you guys got engaged? Oh, well, the Eagles lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. That's
tough, but more props to them. I mean, maybe that's why they look somewhat happy. You know what I mean? Compared to taking the worst L of their life, because they kind of just took a W before. So congratulations to them, though.
Yeah, Mike, were Chiefs fans bother you after the game or no?
No, actually, the fans on both sides deserve a lot of credit, at least around me in my section, because it was back and forth. Everyone was talking shit. Everyone was getting crazy, but it was healthy. It was respectful. And then when the game was over, the Eagles fans congratulated the Chiefs fans on the way out. And I think they took it to the parking lot, because once I got to the parking lot, there was a lot of mad Eagles fans out there.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they just were like, let's get out of the stadium. We don't want red confetti falling on our asses. Let's take this out to the parking lot and start cursing.
What a sad
That's
thing.
what we
Neutral
do.
zone, neutral
We got
zone.
the parking lot.
But that's all we got for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for stopping by to vent with us and say what's up. Jackson, Josh, I will kick it to you guys to do what you do.
I can't. Not this show. Not this show. No,
Josh, I know you're upset. Real upset.
I think they're going to make out, actually.
It's an outro, not an intro. Hit that outro.
We will be back.
Chargers again, JJ. I'll tell you that right now.
JJ's a bandwagon Rams fan.